A&M. Tonight, it's the site for the 39th Labor Day Classic between rivals Texas Southern and Prairie View A&M. You're watching SWAC football presented tonight by Pepsi. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us for this big rivalry game. I am Butch Alcindor along with Jorge Vargas. You know, it's a rivalry, but it's been kind of one-sided lately. PV has won the last 9 in a row, but tonight it's really special. The head coach for the Panthers from Prairie View A&M is Bubba McDowell. The head coach for Texas Southern, Chris Dishman. Those two guys were teammates with the Houston Oilers.
Oh, yeah, and we'll start with Chris Dishman because he's ready to change the way things have been rolling here. He's super excited to be part of TSU. He knows the past, but he's telling his team, forget about the past. We're more about the future, and I want to go get my old buddy, and I want to get some revenge. And, of course, Bubba McDowell in year number 2 is looking to take this program up a level, won the West. Now he's ready to win the conference.
No doubt. Won the West last year. A lot of talent in the coaching staff, but a lot of talent on the field also. Let's start with the Texas Southern Tigers and linebacker Jacob Williams. This young man is phenomenal. Preseason all-SWAC first-team selection. He can do it all. He's all over the field. He's kind of like a throwback player.
You know what I love about him the most? In the tough times or good times, he plays the same way. He's very tenacious. He is looking for back-to-back 100 tackles. First time for TSU since 2004. Last year was 106. He wants more this season.
And one of the guys he will be chasing tonight, of course, is the quarterback for the Panthers, Lucas Coley. He comes over from Arkansas and then U of H right down the road, and now he's playing at Prairie View A&M, and they expect him. They say he's a dual-threat quarterback, so he can do it all.
Yeah, when you talk about dual quarterbacks, you want them to make great decisions, and that's what you talk about, right? Run if you have to, be smart when you do it. But the main thing Coach loves about him is his ability to handle adversity, keep his team calm, make the right decisions.
We are closing in on the opening kickoff here in the Labor Day Classic. But first, let's take a look now at today's Keys to Victory presented by GM, proud sponsor of the SWAC.
Yeah, TSU, I mean, real simple. They've just got to forget about the past. I mentioned that just a minute ago. It's all focused on the now, what we're doing now, where this program's going, and really just keep their mind focused on that. I mean, last year's game, you know, they coughed up a 17-point lead. That's not going to happen. Veteran defensive line, they must dominate, and they must take care of a young Panthers offensive line. That's going to be real important for them. And for Prairie View, the keys for their victory is Coley must play up to expectations. Quite simply, he has got to lead his team. He's got to be smart, know when to run, know when to pass. And then their backfield has got to deliver. They got 3 running backs that can do some stuff. At the end of the day, they've got to produce, and they've got to get the tough yards and make the offense flow.
We talked about the 2 head coaches on the top of the show. That is Bubba McDowell right there. He's the head coach of the Prairie View Panthers. Bubba actually has a birthday coming up in November. He'll be 57 years old. Of course, he was drafted by the Oilers in the 3rd round, played 7 seasons with the Oilers and the Panthers. He's been the head coach since 2022. On the other side, Chris Dishman. We talked a little bit about him. First year at Texas Southern University, a 13-year NFL career, of course, with the Oilers and the Chiefs and the Vikings, and I think the Redskins. He told me he had a cup of coffee with Washington. He has a 19-year coaching career. So both these guys, Jorge, what I think is really interesting is they took the long route. Yeah. They got the experience of being an assistant coach.
Despite being great NFL players and excellent players, they paid all the dues of coaching at all the different levels all the way up and fought their way in, and now they're both head coaches here, and it's going to be fantastic watching these guys do their deal.
And Texas Southern is getting set to return the opening kickoff here in the Labor Day Classic. SWAC football is underway. The Tigers will bring it back from the goal line. Nice little crease. And he's going to be caught, spins away, still on his feet, finally knocked down at about the 32-yard line. So that is where the Tigers will start 1st and 10 on offense. We have not been told at this point who will be the starting quarterback, so we're going to see it just like you. When you see it in real time, it's going to be Jace Wilson or K.J. Cooper, and we will see who the Texas Southern Tigers send out onto the football field. They're still meeting on the sidelines with their head coach, Chris Dishman. And the Tigers will be wearing the white uniforms tonight with the black pants on the other side. The Panthers are all in purple, and the starting quarterback will be K.J. Cooper. That's a bit of a surprise. He's 6'5", 215 pounds out of El Paso, his first year at Texas Southern, and he starts with a pitch out, and it's going to be no game. He's hit for a loss. In the backfield is Sean Xavier Lewis. He's caught for a loss of about 2.
Boy, that's the way you play the end. Boy, you come off like a hammer and just beeline. Yeah, he's pounding his chest, and rightly so. He's like, you don't want none of this.
Terrell Coleman Jr. right there getting fired up. So call it second down coming up for the Tigers. Now second and make it 3. Cooper, I mentioned his first year with the Tigers, does a great job of reading defenses, Dishman told me this week. Cooper's going to pass on second down. It's complete. And great recovery by that Prairie View defense. Just nothing happening there after the catch. He had nowhere to go.
That's what you call team tackling. Just absolutely fantastic. You know, you always, as a defender, you want to corral the guy the first time and then have your help with some friends, and that's exactly what you get. And number 22 again, Terrell Coleman Jr. playing aggressive.
That was Trenton Leary on the catch, the 6-foot, 170-pounder out of Austin. Of course, the coach describes him as super fast. He's like their deep threat. And now, early in this ball game, but a third and long for the Tigers as they try to continue this drive. K.J. Cooper started at quarterback. Ball is loose. Flags are all over the field. It's picked up by Shackle, and he's going to be tackled. The big man had eyes on the goal line, but he is tripped up. Warren Shackle there, but we're going to have to straighten this out. There was enough laundry out there to actually do laundry.
Start a small load at least, right?
Yes. Today's referee is Jarvis Walker, and Jarvis will have to unpack all of this for us. So not the start that Chris Dishman was looking for with his team.
No, not at all. And again, whatever it was, I couldn't really see what happened, but it was declined by Prairie View A&M, and they'll take over the ball right here.
So it was a penalty against the Tigers from TSU, and the turnover, the first turnover of the game, I know it's something TSU said they wanted to minimize coming into this game. It's been a bugaboo in the past.
Yeah, you know, I think any team you're looking at, I mean, it's all about making your own. When you start fighting yourself with your own mental mistakes or just errors, I mean, it's hard to overcome. And when Victor, you know, when teams are matched well, you just can't make mistakes.
So here come the Panthers on offense behind Lucas Coley, the transfer quarterback. We mentioned before he's a dual threat to pass or run, and he turns, fakes it to Wisham on the rollout, looking downfield. Now he's going to keep still on his feet, and he's pushed out of bounds, and the officials will mark him out of bounds. He did not throw that ball away in time.
He was trying to. He threw it to the TSU band. He was trying to get rid of it. He was a step and a half, a little bit too late there. Again, and I applauded him for trying to get rid of it because you take a loss for no reason there. Just got to unload it.
So you got Coley in the backfield, along with number 2, Connor Wisham, a 6-foot, 190-pound junior out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. He played last year, had a lot of experience, did well for the Panthers as they made their run to the championship in the West. Now you see the officials are going to respot the football. It's interesting that Prairie View gets the first big break of the game now with an opportunity to cash it in for 7 points. And now we have whistles again.
Just trying to make sure they got everything lined up here. And again, about that rollout play, it was a kind of a naked bootleg, and he had a running back kind of coming in front of him. He could have dumped it early. He was looking for a bigger play. He was looking for that separation from his running back and that linebacker who was covering him.
Panthers are set to go. They're in the red zone. Coley at quarterback. One of the things that Coach mentioned he liked about Coley was the fact that he says he handles adversity the right way. He said he's a really good player under pressure. So on second down, Coley has a hole up the middle, keeps the football, running for the end zone, and he's knocked down hard at about the 2-yard line, but there's another flag resting right around the 12. So we'll have to see what that one was about, because a big run by Coley would have set the Panthers up pretty close down near the goal line.
It looked like Josiah Hartman hit him really hard. He's got a good last name for the way he hits.
That's going to come back, though. The Panthers were guilty of holding on the play, so that's going to push them back. So penalties early in this ball game are really playing a big role.
Yeah, and I think right here, Prairie View A&M, you get a fumble deep in your opponent's territory, you got to play clean free, and you're trying to get 7. You don't get an opportunity like that left and right. So they're way behind the chains.
Ball resting now at about the 21-yard line, and it'll be second down again for the Panthers. Pass is juggled and almost intercepted. Pass was on the money by Coley, but his receiver did not make the catch, and then it was almost intercepted after that.
It looked like Shamar Savage there was juggling a little bit, just could not bring it in and almost got intercepted.
Yeah, so far both teams, that was Williams who actually had his hands on it and almost pulled that one in. Jacob Williams, the young man we spotlighted at the top of the broadcast, almost came up with a huge play for the Tigers.
Hey, we will see a lot of him. He is always around the ball.
Big third down now coming up for Prairie View. Coley puts a man in motion. You're going to see a lot of motion tonight from the Panthers. Coley again has to dodge one guy. Now he scrambles out of trouble and goes down. So he slides down at about this 18-yard line. Again, good pressure by the Tigers, forcing Coley out of that pocket.
And what was great about the pressure, it was controlled pressure, right? They created a small seam, and then they closed it quickly, and Coley got trapped, had to go down.
So we'll get our first look now at the kicker. It will be a 37-yard attempt on the field goal attempt by Guillermo Garcia Rodriguez as he comes up and gets himself lined up. Rodriguez played last year. Good snap, good hole. His kick is